on Tuesday, January 7th, 2020 at 7:01 p.m. Before we begin, I'd like to just take a moment and think of the families for Iran fired at U.S. bases in Iraq. If everyone could just take a moment, appreciate it. Thank you. Number 2, I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting held on December 17, 2019.
So moved.
Seconded.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Number 3, receive presentation of Village Tinley Park employee onboarding video. Let's take that.
Sure, I'll do it for introduction. So one of our goals in the previous strategic plan was to develop an onboarding video for new employees. This is really a good tool for introducing new hires as well as current employees to our operation and kind of put some faces to names of the organization. So we really wanted to just share this with you. HR, marketing, and really all the staff had a lot of input into this and went through more than a few pages on this thing. But so we're going to spend a few minutes and kind of let you see what we put together. Ready? Ready.
Hi, this is Mayor Jacob Vandenberg with the Village of Tinley Park. First and foremost, we'd like to welcome you. On behalf of the Village Board, the Village Clerk, and all of our staff, we wish you the best here in your career in Tinley Park. Tinley Park is all about life amplified and music being in our DNA. We want you to embrace that and be a part of that. On behalf of the 60,000 residents, we wish you nothing but success. Congratulations.
Welcome to the Village of Tinley Park, and congratulations on your appointment. You are going and joining one of the premier organizations in the Chicago area, and we're glad to have you on board. Let me talk to you a little bit about my role with the village as a village manager. So my major role is to really oversee the day-to-day operations of the staff. I also work directly for the village board and their day-to-day concerns. And I also represent the village working with other local governments, other community organizations, as well as the media and other outside groups. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the other people that assist me in the manager's office. First is Pat Carr, the assistant manager, who you will meet later, and also Lisa Valley. She is the assistant to the manager, and she basically works on numerous things, resident issues, as well as handling utility concerns. Dominic Sanfilippo is the mayor's assistant, and he works on projects for the mayors and also works on overseeing the village's liquor licenses. We work out of Village Hall, and in Village Hall, we have several village departments, including obviously the mayor's and manager's office, the village clerk's office, marketing, community development, as well as finance. We also have a number of departments that are located in other facilities throughout the village, including Public Works, Police, Fire, and EMA. We also own the Village Convention Center, and that is operated by a private entity at 183rd and Harlem. All in all, we're glad to have you on board, and we look forward to working with you all, and good luck.
Hi, I'm Denise Maiello. I'm the Director of Human Resources for the Village of Tinley Park. Our Human Resources Department acts as a brand ambassador for the village. We work with people all the way from recruitment and our social media advertisements, all the way through the hiring process to training, development, performance evaluations, and to separation and retirement. We work with departments and partner with them for a variety of things as well, from job descriptions and various studies, all the way through professional development and organizational and strategic planning.
I'm Donna Framke. I'm the Marketing Director for the Village of Tinley Park. The Marketing Department is located right in the center area of the Village Hall. Let me introduce you to our team. I'll start with Vicki Sanchez. She's our special events coordinator and manages the many special events that we have, including Music in the Plaza, Cruise Nights, Block Party, Holiday Market, Boo Bash, Irish Parade, and Photos with the Bunny. We have our public information coordinator, Jason Freeman, who is responsible for doing our community email, our Tinley TV programming, including Tinley Today and In Touch with Tinley, our press releases, and managing our village website. And Nicole Gardner is our community engagement coordinator, and she oversees all of our social media feeds, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Joanne Carroll, she oversees our Benches on the Avenue program, as well as does all of our graphic design. Sue Paul is our marketing assistant, and she manages, in addition to the Benches on the Avenue, many of the marketing projects. So as a new employee, we certainly invite you and welcome you to engage with us on our social media platforms. And we're always looking for new and good ideas, so the door is always open. If you'd ever like to stop by and visit, please do.
Hello, and welcome to the Clerk's Office at the Village of Tinley Park. My name is Laura Godette, and I'm the Deputy Village Clerk. Our office creates and maintains village code and official documents, including agendas and minutes for all village board, committee, and commission meetings. We also maintain ordinances and resolutions. The Clerk's Office also supervises record retention for the village, manages Freedom of Information requests, and Open Meetings Act. We supervise elections and oversee early voting here at the Village Hall.
Hi, and welcome to the Community Development Department. I'm Kimberly Clark, the Community Development Director. Our department is comprised of 3 divisions, and what we do is we take projects from its beginning inception, which is economic development, to the entitlement process, which is planning and zoning, to then the construction, which is our building department division. Together we work as a team to bring new development into the village, as well as we think for the future and what our town can be, and we help assist the economic development activities and the planning and zoning and the building department to make those things happen. We're here to help you in any way we can. We have a lot of activity here in our department. We have a lot of interaction with residences and businesses, and we're usually the one-stop shop when we're talking about any future needs for the village in regards to development.
Hi, I want to introduce you now to our inspection team, who is also a part of the Community Development Department. To my left, starting here, we have Mike Chambers, who is our electrical inspector. He does many other inspections as well, but he also just specifies electricity. We have Gene Lodi, who is our plumbing inspector. Next, we have our code enforcement crew. We have Jim Calamino, Ken Karszewski. They're the guys that are out there on the street making sure everything's looking nice. And then we also have Walt Smart, who is our zoning administrator, who looks at zoning for new businesses, but as well out in the field looking for zoning compliance. Lastly, we have Mulvey Shaw. She's our health inspector. She's the one that goes out and looks at our restaurants and makes sure that everyone is following code and takes any complaints that may come into the village regarding any food issues. Hello and welcome to our building division of the Community Development Department. Here we have Jean Bruno, who is our office coordinator, and she manages the day-to-day operations and oversees the work of our 3 clerks. And she also is responsible for all the commercial developments that come in as she prioritizes those through the department. Next, we have Debbie Thurstrup. She is our permit technician as well and handles all permit intakes and specifically works on contractor registration. Next, we have Lisa Beck, who also is a full-time permit technician, and she also focuses on change of use applications that come in through the village. Next, we have our 2 clerks. Barb Bolzerzak is our full-time clerk, and Barb Bennett is our part-time clerk. Barb Bolzerzak focuses on the residential permits that come to the counter, and she assists our residents on a day-to-day basis. And Barb is the assistant to the planning and economic development divisions of the Community Development Department, as well as she assists our code enforcement officers out in the field. Next here, we're in the planning department, where we have Paula Walrick, who is our planning manager, and Dan Ritter, who is our senior planner. Paula Walrick oversees the day-to-day activities of the planning department, works closely with Dan Ritter, the senior planner. And the goals of the planning department is to implement the future development of the village. We assist our residences and our businesses on a day-to-day basis to find out where new development should happen and where can we assist our residents in any future needs that they may have.
Hello, and here we are today with Kevin Gomolka. He's our Business Retention Expansion Specialist here in the Economic Development Division of the Community Development Department. He works along with an Economic Development Manager, but Kevin's role is specifically to be our feet on the ground and our ears out in the business community to see how we can better assist our businesses and also to build those relationships over time.
Hi, I'm Brad Bettenhausen. I'm the Treasurer Finance Director for the Village of Tinley Park. The Finance Department is responsible for all of the monies coming and going for the village, where it came from, where it goes to, and all the financial reporting that goes along with that. My staff is present here as well, and I'd like to introduce them. And if there's ever a question, any one of them can help you with an answer, I'm sure. Michael Zancius, Assistant Treasurer, Assistant Finance Director, Chris Frankenfield, Mary Joyce, Leisha Cooper, Amy Lucian, Ruth Gibson, and Elaine Scholes.
My name is Chris Frankenfield. I'm from the Finance Department. In addition to my duties as an accountant, I also oversee the Cashiers Department. Cashiers are located here at the front desk of the Village Hall, where residents come in, they pay the water bill or pay for vehicle stickers, for example. They also come in with a lot of questions and concerns with the village. So they come here, they come right to us, we direct them to where they need to be answered. Welcome to Tinley Park, look forward to working with you.
The IT department maintains the technology infrastructure that supports all village departments and resident access to village services. IT also supports the village's network, infrastructure, unified communications, data information management, cybersecurity, and systems integration. Currently, the IT department supports over 400 users in all of their devices, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Users can call IT information line at extension 5087 for help or enter a work order.
My name is Kevin Workowski. I'm the Public Works Director for the Village of Tinley Park. Next to me is John Urbanski. He's our Assistant Director of Public Works. The Public Works Department provides quality public service to our residents using a very motivated and professional staff. We also sustain a quality of life for our village residents. As a Public Works Director, I'm responsible for the Public Works Department preparing and maintaining the village budget, O&M, which is operation and maintenance, and capital project budget. My other duties are I communicate with the village officials and upper management. I work with other government agencies. I review plans for capital projects. I communicate with the residents. That's one of the main keys of the job.
As Kevin said, I'm the Assistant Director of Public Works. I am in charge of operations and personnel for the department. Currently, we have about 41 full-time maintenance employees and an additional 60 employees throughout the rest of the department. The superintendents that report to me directly are Facilities and Fleet Superintendent, the Water and Sewer Superintendent, and the Street Superintendent.
Hello, my name is Terry Lusby Jr. I'm the Facilities and Fleet Superintendent. In the Fleet Department, we have 3 mechanics, and we also have a fleet foreman. We pretty much oversee everything on wheels for the Village of Tinley Park.
Hi, my name is Kelly Mulqueeny. I'm the Street Superintendent for the Public Works Department. I have 2 foremen and 18 full-time employees in the Street Department. We are responsible for the streets, everything from the pavement management program to street sweeping to striping. We are also responsible for snow plowing. We have 12 routes that rotate in 12-hour shifts, and we utilize the entire Public Works Department for that. Besides that, we do landscaping. We have 217 acres of mowing and landscaping that we need to maintain. Some of that is contracted out.
Hi, I'm Joe Fitzpatrick, Water Department Superintendent. We have over 22,000 water billing accounts we supply water to. We have 2 pumping stations. We have 13 lift stations to pump water to all those accounts. We also have 13 lift stations to get rid of all stormwater and wastewater throughout the village. There are 12 individuals in the water department. We repair any fire hydrants, water meters, water main breaks, or sanitary sewer issues that happen throughout the village. We are working out of the Public Works Garage located at 183rd and 80th Avenue.
My name is Forrest Reeder. I'm the fire chief for the Village of Tinley Park Fire Department. I'd like to welcome all of our new hires to the department. Currently, our fire department operates out of 4 fire stations, and right now we have 15 firefighters on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In terms of calls, we're a full-service fire department. We have a partner who handles our emergency medical services response, but together with fire and emergency medical services, or our paramedics, our department responds to almost 30 emergency responses per day. So between the 4 stations, each station runs between 8 and 10 emergencies a day. A couple of the stations are a little bit busier than others, but as a full-service fire department, we handle everything from routine emergency medical service calls all the way up to house fires and hazardous material incidents. On 183rd Street, we have a full-service fire training center, and that gives our firefighters the opportunity to train in live fire training events, vehicle extrication, hazardous materials, and gives us an opportunity to train to continue to make our firefighters the best firefighters that the suburbs have to offer.
Hi, my name is Matt Walsh. I'm the Chief of Police for Tinley Park. Police Department is 77 sworn officers. That includes me as the chief. There's a deputy chief. There's 2 commanders, 10 sergeants. We just got a 10th sergeant and 52 patrol officers right now. We have 3 10-hour shifts per day, 2 teams, an A team and a B team. We have a traffic unit, a tactical unit, and 8 investigators. We have quality police. We have a lot of nice positive feedback from the community, and it's really nice to hear.
Hello, my name is Pat Carr, and I'm the Assistant Village Manager and Director of Emergency Management and 911 Communications. My department currently handles emergency and non-emergency support for incidents within the Village of Tinley Park. We are an accredited emergency management agency where we have an emergency operations plan and assist public safety agencies in performing their duties. In addition, our department handles the 911 Command Center, which is a 911 dispatch center that handles all emergency and non-emergency calls for service within the Village of Tinley Park. Currently, we have over 140,000 service calls within Tinley Park to our 911 center. One of our other duties with our department is we manage our village-owned heliport. We have helicopter traffic from the military, law enforcement, EMS, and private entities that come into our helipad for a variety of reasons, whether it's a concert, convention, or for emergency purposes.
Hi, I'm Lisa Cordum, the 911 supervisor for the Village of Tinley Park. We're in the 911 center now. We have 13 full-time dispatchers and 3 part-time dispatchers. We answer the emergency and non-emergency for the police, fire, EMS. Monthly, we set off the warning sirens the first Tuesday of the month at 10:30 a.m. So when you hear the sirens going off, that's happening in here. We have a few programs. We have the Text to 911 program. It's fairly new to the village. We have a premise alert program that we manage. We're here 24/7. If you have an emergency, call 911. If not, just call us at 532-9111.
That's it. Again, obviously this will be updated as people do change, but it's a nice introduction and something we've been one of our goals for some time. So that's it for that item.
Sure.
So you have any questions?
Number 4, discuss
My role with the village.
personnel budget.
Sure, so every year during the budget process, there's often a number of positions where the board decides to, there's interest in putting in the budget, but assessing it mid-year, just to make sure that it's something that the village still wants to do. So that's what we're discussing tonight, and so this year, there was 4 requests that were put in that were to be studied at mid-year. One of them is one that we are recommending deferral on that, which is the 2 additional positions that will help staff the plaza, obviously with the delay in the plaza, getting the plaza land, that's the reason for that. Public Works, over the last few years, we've been trying to get some of the staffing back up. There was significant reduction several years ago. There's been a lot of workload added with special events and other things, and we've been gradually trying to get some of the department back up. So there is a recommendation which the manager's office does concur with for position in the street department. And similarly, in the 911 center, there was a request with the additional workload for a telecommunicator. And so those positions, the telecommunicator and the public works maintenance position are recommended. I'm going to let the chief, there's also a recommendation for a new commander. This was part of the staffing study. And we've had some discussions with the chief, and as part of the recommendation, he's going to speak to some of the things that we're going to look at trying to do once the commander position is outlined. So chief, if you want to address that.
Okay, like Dave said, in accordance with the staffing study, I'm recommending that we add in a commander to oversee the investigations, because in the study it said that the complexity of investigative work should be handled by more than just a sergeant. But this sergeant would also have additional duties, including all special events, the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, the Convention Center, all village events. It would allow for the detective sergeant to directly supervise the afternoon detectives as well as the tactical unit. Currently, the tactical unit is answering to the patrol sergeant on the street. I would like them to have a little bit more direct supervision. We're trying to increase the efficiencies of the department and reduce costs, so there's some cost-saving measures, because this commander will take on some more roles that are currently handled by the sergeant.
So, any questions on any of the recommendations?
Dave, the dollars listed here is just salary, not, does this include pension?
It's his salary, and it's only for a half a year. So, yeah, obviously in the next year's budget, that will increase to reflect the full year as well as the benefits.
And these are just a half year. This isn't what they'll be putting in for.
Correct, yeah. And obviously, you know, because we're in January, and some of these positions are not, we're not going to be spending a half year's worth of money, because some of these positions aren't going to be filled close to the fiscal year end that we did early in January, but that's what was put in the budget in terms of the salary amounts.
Is that anything? Anyone else? One questions I have is with the, the commander. In order to move forward with that, I think we need to be very strict on how, how it's implemented if we're going to go through with that, so that we don't have two of them on days. Originally when we hired them, it was gonna be one was days, one was nights, and we're not. So they have to be split up, either two on nights or two on days, and their schedules overlapping one day instead of working the same days.
Well, if I may, the problem is, when I took the position, there also was an additional deputy chief, which we eliminated. Also, many of the duties I've assigned, without being derogatory towards anybody in the past, but since 2011, since Mike O'Connell passed away, from talking to some of the officers, a lot of things have been just kind of in flux. I have a list of duties that I have the commanders working on now that I'll pass out to everybody. It's 3 pages long, things that we have been correcting and things that we're trying to get moving forward. I chose to move the commanders. I had them originally working 1 day apiece. I moved them together because I needed them there so I could talk to them just about on a daily basis. So that was my decision. As time goes forward, if things start getting corrected, as things start getting, these things start getting implemented, by all means, I'll move them back. We also had a big meeting today with cannabis. There's a lot that we have to teach our officers with cannabis, so I sent the command staff there today as well, because there's a lot of uncertainty so far, and we need to train everybody and get them moving forward on this as well.
Okay. Well, it's just, for me, I can't speak for anyone else, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but as far as to go forward with the commander, like you said, Chief, obviously you had to move it around to do other things that you needed done, but that's, you approve a position to do certain things, and then they do other things. So we would have to make sure that we are gonna follow what we're passing through, if we're gonna do it, that they're separated. If not, I have a problem with that. And then as far as the sergeant, he was hired before chief came on board, right? We approved an extra sergeant to do special events already.
What we had was an additional administrative sergeant. Previously, there were 2, then we were down to 1. We did add an additional sergeant to take on some of those duties, with the understanding that they'd be split, with one handling Casino Amphitheater and Convention Center, the other one handling all the other village events, because as you know, they keep getting to be more and more.
Chief, is there a reasonable timetable? I'm sorry.
No, Chief.
Was there a reasonable timetable that the current commanders will be able to fulfill that checklist that you have?
I don't have a direct timeline. I'll look at it and I'll
Okay.
go over some stuff with you, because we need to correct all the ordinances. We need to, not correct them, we're trying to get more ordinances held by at Tinley Park and more fines being done by Tinley Park as opposed to going over to Bridgeview, because we get about 5 cents on a dollar there, and a lot of the things we could put into our own court. We're working on that, as well as all the new laws that are going into effect. And like I said, this cannabis is a nightmare so far, so I've been dealing with that as well.
So your recommendation is to continue the course and have the 2 commanders that you have working the shifts they're working?
Right now. But I've already talked to them with the understanding that they will go back covering.
Once
7
the
days
list
a
is
week.
fulfilled?
Yeah. But I don't have a
Thanks for the clarity.
timeframe right now.
I mean, for me, I think we need to see a plan.
Okay.
To move forward with it. I mean, because, that could go 6 months, a year, no fault to yours, it's just, that was the whole purpose of, when it was approved the first time, there was supposed to be 1 during the day and 1 at night. So we don't have any commanders on the weekends, and then the overtime, on the sergeants are just, it's a lot.
We did a study from 2014 to present with the sergeant overtime, and it was consistent, except it was higher this year. We had 2 sergeants on extended medical. Same sergeant's going to be on extended medical going forth, and we put an officer in charge to reduce costs as well.
So can we separate that one out from the rest of these and worry about that one in a little bit after Chief has an opportunity to present us with all that information and a structure of a plan?
What do you want to do as far as?
Goal to have them come back with a plan.
Yeah.
Without a plan on that, the patrol officers, 2 positions, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But the other 2, I think we need a plan.
Also, when I was going through the interview process, I was going to have the commanders as watch commanders. When I got here, I pulled them back because of the amount of things that needed to be completed. That was my decision.
Thanks, Chief.
Trustee Glatz, you were talking the other 2, you meant, there's no sergeant being requested here, it's just the commander.
Okay, it's listed with the, it's not yellow highlighted, but it's listed with our video right here.
It's the Public Works is one of them, right? You're looking for?
So you're looking for a plan for the commander and sergeant?
Yes.
Right, not for any other position?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to have a plan to go forward on it. We didn't talk to these other ones yet. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, yeah, and I guess, I'd
That
feel, maybe if we're gonna talk about the rest of them, I would always hope that, and not so much on the commanders, but we're looking at Public Works, we're looking at, other office areas that like to understand what is not getting done today that is causing us to need this additional person. I'm talking more about Public Works and marketing we're not doing right now, and I know the need for that one, but.
You want to just go down the line? You want to go to telecommunicator next?
Mhm.
You want to take that one?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently, we're down 2 from the 13 that is authorized for our department for T-Zeros. So we're currently down to, for a full staff of 13. We're asking for 14th one mid-year, just based on call volume. The call volume's gone up quite a bit. And this staffing level was a staffing level that was actually back from 2009, 2010. the 13. We had a position that was frozen for a while, and just with turnover and retirements, we haven't been able to even get back up to full staff. We have a new test roster available now. In addition, we've had 10 authorized for part-timers. We've had, at any given time, 4 to 6. We have 0 now. So that's another impact that it's done to the center there. In addition, we've taken over Mavis 24 dispatch, which has added quite a bit, and then also our EMD that we're handling also.
Pat, how much are we getting for the Mavis 24 dispatch?
$25,000 a year.
So it's relatively covers that?
It's they're doing their duties on the regular fire desk as it is, so it's the regular fire person that's there, but it's devoted solely to fire, where before they would be handling police calls also.
Okay.
So now we have a dedicated fire person to that desk that solely handles fire calls for the center.
Right.
And if they get busy, of course, the other dispatchers can handle it, but it's more of an awareness level of being called. They have them available.
Any other questions? Maintenance worker, John, you want to take that?
Yes, sir. I'm currently finalizing a extensive staffing plan to present to the committee and board here, but just some of the hot items that would justify the need for an addition of employees here. One of the items is, prior to the recession, Public Works had a maximum employee at 41 count. Currently, with the addition in the last couple of years that you guys have afforded us, we are at 38 right now. So we still haven't even matched the previous number of employees. Justification of those employees, I've got multiple items in this staffing plan, which goes along with industry standards. Typical industry standard for Public Works employees is 1 employee per 1,000 population. As we're aware, Tinley Park is over 56,000 employees, which should essentially match 56 Public Works employees. Along with that, we have additional needs going through what our work order system offers us. In the past year, we had over 200 events that were given to Public Works to be responsible for. Now, understanding that, they're not just special events, it could be something like a block party, anything of the sort, but we are at the point, and we've seen for the last couple of years now, that we can't even afford overtime personnel because we're forcing people in. They're burned out. I've been told by multiple employees that again, guys just don't want to work the overtime because they're burned out for the amount of hours they're required to handle in their, day-to-day operations. We have maintenance that's, well beyond what is required for a typical maintenance plan for all of our infrastructure. Again, with the addition of employees, all of these, things can be assisted. We had additional contracted services that were added to our plan. And overall, with the growth of the community, it's just an ongoing burden to the infrastructure and Public Works Department. So again, I will offer, again, an extensive justification for overall Public Works staffing here in the next, hopefully the next month, I'll be finalizing this plan.
I was just curious, when we, when things change here and we're bringing in some, something new, if we're gonna develop for, the mental health property and we're gonna bring in whatever we're gonna bring in, do we look at it at that time to say, okay, what are gonna be the needs in all our departments, so they don't have to get to a point that they're, overwhelming the current employees, and we are, kind of working ahead?
We always look at that, especially with major developments. When we work in Racino, Pat was kind of leading with the public safety department's kind of review of what other communities throughout the nation were doing in terms of staffing. So at that point, if there was some advance, we would have certainly been able to talk to how that would affect, in particular within public safety. So yeah, we certainly do look at that.
Anything else? Yeah, John, I know this is what was budgeted from last year, but this position is well needed. Hopefully, you're going to have a larger list come in a couple months, because it's, every time you go to all the events, it's this, we see the exact same people always having to work, and they're forced to work.
Yes.
And it's just, it shouldn't be like that. Any questions?
No.
Marketing, Donna? Frank? No? Oh, sorry. We got this double list here. Let's scroll back up. The 2 event coordinators for marketing?
That would be for Harmony Square.
Okay. So you want a motion then, Dave? Is this just a discussion? So we can get moving at least on 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think typically, it's already in the budget, so there's not like a board action, but I think in summary, the consensus is, I think to go forward with the maintenance worker and telecommunicator and have the chief bring back a plan for the management. Is that?
Agreed.
Yep, okay. Got it.
Fair enough. Anyone else?
No.
Number 5, receive comments from the public. Anyone there to address the committee of the whole?
How you doing? I'm just wondering, how many women we have as firemen in this town? How many women firefighters?
Currently, we have 3 on the roster as firefighters.
Yeah, 3 firefighters, three women?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else care to address the committee of the whole?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Chris Helper. I've been here once before, spoke once before, and I apologize, my public speaking probably hasn't improved since then, so bear with me. Last time I was here, I kind of delivered not some great news, so this time I think I have a little bit better news for everybody. I'm the one that's doing the documentary about the former Tinley Park Mental Institution. And again, my research has kind of uncovered something very interesting. Thanks to the Tinley Park Historical Society, during my research, they've given me thousands and thousands of articles and documents on the facility. Going back from 1947 when Village of Tinley Park was first talking about, having the facility here. During my research, I uncovered a proclamation, excuse me, from former Mayor Edward Zerbaki. And this was to dedicate a memorial that sits out on that property. It was originally dedicated in 1996, rededicated again because it was in kind of poor shape in 2004. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pass out. Thank you for copying these for me. One for you guys to pass around, and you guys can share those down there. Sorry about that. So you can all take a quick look at what that is. Right now, this is what that memorial looks like. It's a disgrace. I'm spearheading an effort to have that removed and hopefully have you, Mr. Mayor, and the trustees help myself. I spoke with Jim Hudek, the commander at the veteran, the VFW post, 2791 in Tinley Park, to kind of get this effort moving to, we got to do something about it to have it moved out of there. Contacted some construction companies to maybe give an effort. Also contacted CMS, although the property's on a pretty hard lockdown because of my last speech here, the security issues. So might have shot myself in the foot on that one. We had to maybe jump through hoops, but I spoke also with Mr. Wiley Roberts, who generously came here tonight, and we spoke about this, and he said he might have the perfect place for this. The plaque is gone, as you see. We don't know where that plaque is at. There's some feelers out there to try to find it. So with that said, I'm going to be eventually passing the torch over to the VFW and to Mr. Roberts on this. But during our filming, we're pretty much, 280 Acres is the name of the documentary. We're pretty close to being funded with that. So, and I have some good news because I think we're going to end up being a little bit more funded than we need for the documentary. So I'm going to commit 20% of that funds, which is probably around $10,000, to Tinley Wish, Tinley Historical Society, and the VFW in order to get this monument fixed. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about that?
What's the monument?
It was a monument that was dedicated to the foreign wars. I'm sorry, to all veterans for foreign wars. I have the proclamation right here, and here's another one. I could read a little bit from it. This was originally sent to Dave Petrowski. Attention, Dave Petrowski. On Friday 8th, 1996, Post Color Guard participated in the dedication of a Veterans Memorial at W.A. Howe Mental Center. See enclosed. This memorial is to honor all veterans at the Howe Center and at the whole entire facility there. It was spearheaded by a gentleman named Billy Wilkins. He was an employee of the Howe Center, a Vietnam veteran, and a member of the Post, VFW, Bremen Post 2791. He never got to see this memorial come to fruition. He died in a motorcycle accident, August 26, 1996, which is a shame. Like I said, it went into disrepair. It was rededicated again by Boy Scout Troop 380 and also by the mayor and I think some of the guys in the Post were also there. So, I mean, I just think before this land gets, eventually it's going to be taken care of, we all hope. And I just don't want to see, and I guess all of us, what I'm trying to say is all of us want to kind of forget the memories of what happened there. But this is one memory that I think Tinley Park and everybody here needs to keep and, redo and, let's do something about it, I guess. So like I said, that's what my commitment is. And again, I'm going to be passing it off to Mr. Roberts and VFW to kind of spearhead.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'll just briefly mention that about 6 months ago, someone, and I've reached out to 2 individuals, told me that they were intent on saving that plaque. And I've reached out to both of them. One is out of state, and the other one said that came to a dead end. But I'm on it, and we'll find the plaque. But I know that you told me that the flag was...
Yeah, it's been gone for over 2 years.
Yeah. I remember seeing it because at one point I was an assistant scoutmaster for a local Boy Scout troop, and we went down there and we had an honor ceremony there too. And I remember seeing the plaque. But we'll find it, and my idea for final placement is because we have the M84 mortar carrier coming in, that mortar carrier was active during the Libyan conflict in Vietnam, and it would be appropriate. And I know there was some verbiage about Vietnam on the plaque itself. That might be good to be co-located with the M84 mortar carrier next to Veterans Parkway. Okay? So we've got plans.
Okay.
And we'll keep you all informed.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else care to address the board? Have to make a motion to close the committee of the whole?
So be it.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Committee of the whole is closed at 7:45.